I've been really kind of wondering recently how I've gone from this person who was such a negative thinker, hated himself, always had no confidence, had nothing. And I did this complete 180 to a positive thinker and a man with confidence and self love and self acceptance. And I've been trying to put it more into words how I have accomplished this, because when I think about it on the outside, it seems so simple. The more I dissected it, the more I realized all I did was stopped thinking negatively and started thinking positively. I just replaced the negative with the positive. Nothing else changed in my life except that. And we hear it all the time, just think more positively, and it's like, it can't be that simple. And the more I researched it and the more I looked into it and tried to take it from a vague concept to something that is solidified, I realized it is that simple. Now, simple doesn't always mean easy, but it's still a very simple process. It may at times not be easy, but it is a very simple process, and I really wanted to kind of share that today with you guys because I came across this psychologist on YouTube, Brendan Burchard, I believe his name is. I'll leave the link below. And you can check out his video because really I just took a lot of what he said because he said it so coherently and in such a beautiful way. And I took a lot of what he said from it because he has this term which is relative weight of importance and duration. So how you became a negative thinker is this: you have had experiences in your life that have coalesced to this moment, whether it's circumstances, experiences, whatever it is, and your brain has gone to negative thinking over and over and over again. You've given it weight, you've given it importance, and you've given it time. You gave the importance to the negative things in your life. You gave it time, you gave it weight, you gave it duration, and you did that, and eventually your brain started to train itself to think negatively automatically. So all you have to do is the exact opposite, but with the positive. If you had a bad experience that caused fear when you were younger, or in your teens, or whatever it is, when you come across an experience that is somewhat similar to that, your brain will automatically pull fear in the foreground of your thinking. So you have to take this negative thinking and you have to redirect it. You have to redirect it towards the positive. Well, how do you do that? For me, it was really just as simple as I'm going to start to become aware of my negative thinking. So many of us think negatively all the time. We're not even aware of it. So I started just becoming aware of it. And when I finally found myself in it, I would stop it and repeat positive things over and over again. And the increment of time between when I started thinking negatively, became aware of it, and then started thinking positively, those increments became smaller and smaller, and eventually I was catching it within minutes of being in a negative mindset. I think one of the first things you can really start doing is just asking yourself what the opposite of it is. When you catch yourself in this negative thinking, whether you're in line at Starbucks, whether you're in the car, whether you're laying your head down at night to go to sleep, when this negative thinking comes up, just ask yourself what the opposite can be. Another thing I ended up reading was when you do that, instead of trying to command yourself to think positively, and you ask yourself, you kick off these problem-solving parts of your brain that can make it easier for you to switch your mindset into a more positive one. Another way this Brendan talks about is writing down 5 questions to ask yourself. The moment you wake up, ask them at lunch, ask them at dinner, just 5 questions, whether it's, what am I grateful for right now? How can I implement confidence in my life right now? How can I implement excellence in my life right now? How can I surprise somebody right now? How can I show love to somebody right now? Just have these things show up in your phone, remind yourself to ask yourself these questions, because what that does now is gets your mind into answering something in a positive realm instead of sitting in a negative realm. It kicks off the curiosity, problem-solving parts of your brain, and it makes you move into it. So when you catch yourself in this negative train of thought, you just got to give the attention, close your eyes, visualize it, sense it. What would it feel like? What would it be like? What does it look like around you? And this sounds super cheesy, and it kind of is, but it actually works. And this is how I was able to really start changing my mindset from an absolute crazy negative one, self-hatred, negative, to a very positive, self-loving one. I mean, the truth is, I feel like so many of us don't want to let go of our negativity, and some of us will swear and swear and swear that, yes, I'm so tired of being negative. But I think we've become so used to being negative that we feel like part of our identity is stuck in it. We feel like if I let this negativity go, part of me is going to die. Literally, we feel that way, and we don't want to let go of it. But there is nothing good that comes from self-pity. Absolutely nothing comes from negative thinking. And I think another reason why we love to hold on to it is we don't have to take responsibility for our life, for our actions, for even our own need to change. We can blame it on everybody else because we were dealt a bad hand, because we were dealt the crappy brother and sister dying or being molested when I was a kid. We were dealt that. That's not my fault. That's somebody else's fault. So I don't have to take responsibility for it. And I think that is one of the biggest reasons why we do not want to let go of our negative thinking and our self-pity. You can't blame your parents, you can't blame your friends, you can't blame God, you can't blame whoever it is you like to blame for your issues. And that means if you can't blame people, you have to take responsibility for it yourself. Just catch yourself, become aware of your negative thinking. If you're standing in line, sitting in traffic, whatever it is, sitting at home, laying in bed at night, think about becoming aware of your thinking. It's extremely bizarre and trippy thing that we're probably the only living thing in this universe that can step outside of itself and watch itself as a stranger. I've talked about this in different podcasts and different videos. Observe yourself like a stranger, and you will find out very quickly all the things you need to change. Something else you can do is come up with 5 adjectives that describe your ideal self. And again, put them in your phone, have them go off at random times. When I did this practice, I caught myself so many times in this negative thinking, and all of a sudden the alarm would go off on my phone and be like, wait, I'm not the person I am right now. I'm this person here. I'm this person who is confident. I'm this person who is genuine and authentic. So do those things. Write down the 5 questions. Write down 3 things that describe your ideal self. Put them in your phone. Put them in your calendars. Set the reminders and do this, because I am telling you right now, you will have one of the biggest paradigm shifts you could ever possibly imagine. Your whole life will change. It's that cliche saying, the glass is half full, the glass is half empty are both the correct answer. One will just get you somewhere where you never imagined you could possibly be. There's this quote I love that says, if enlightenment were easy, everyone would tell their brother. And I love this quote because basically what it means to me is working on yourself, becoming a better person, it's not easy at all. It's challenging. You have to look at the dark sides of yourself in order to change them. You have to take responsibility for yourself in order to change it. But this is the only way to get to a positive realm in your life. But I will tell you right now, if you get a taste of looking at the world through a positive lens, you will never want to go back to the negative one, because so much growth, so much joy, so much happiness comes from that. And that doesn't mean negative things don't happen to you anymore, but what that means is that you end up growing from the negative things. You end up learning from them. You end up getting better because of them. That's all I got for today. Much love. Check out the links below. I linked Brendan's podcast or Brendan's video channel, YouTube channel. Jeez. Check that out because that is a very powerful video. And just start working on becoming aware of your negative thinking. Start there. Take the small steps. I always talk about that. Change comes over time. Change what you can today for tomorrow, and then tomorrow will do the same thing. And I absolutely love your guys' time. Thank you for giving it to me, and I will see you soon. Peace.